All right, so the positioning of the squat is his heels are gonna be kind of here on the outside of his shoulders. So I'm turning his toes out about 30 degrees so that as he squats, he can push his knees out, externally rotate his femurs, and now sit down to proper depth without rounding out his back. So that's why we do that. Put your hands together like you're gonna pray. Squat down, take your elbows and push your knees out. So put them inside your knees and push them out, good. Eyes are gonna be down kind of like the bottom of that tripod over there. This is the bottom position. His knees are tracing out over his toes, like I just explained, and he's leaned over. He's more leaned over than a lot of us have envisioned in the squat. He's got the most muscle mass back here in what we refer to as his hips. So Bob, just push that up and stand. Push your hips up and stand, good. That is what we call hip drive. When we set the bar up to squat, it's gonna be about sternum height. The bar is not gonna rest up here on the traps. When I'm gonna put the bar on the back, I'm gonna put it low on the back. So everyone take your right hand, reach up over your left shoulder, and outside here, there's a little bony ridge. The bar is gonna sit just beneath that. So he puts the bar low on the back, and you'll notice that his upper back, I didn't even tell him, he's got a little experience, is super tight. And when he tightens the upper back like that, the rear delts here kind of raise up, and the bar is like sitting on a shelf. Good. This time when you take a breath at the top, I want you to brace your abs like I'm gonna punch you in the gut. So breathe in right now, get tight here, and now squat. Come up, good. So real quick, let me explain something on warm up. So if he was doing 275 today and we weren't doing a clinic, he would walk in, he would do 2 sets of 5 with the empty bar. And then he would make equal jumps until he got to 275, right? In his case, it's a nice clean number. He'd probably go to 25s, do it for 5. Then he'd go to a 45 on each side, do it for 3. Then he'd go to, a 45 and a 25 and do it for 2. And then maybe he'd go to 2 wheels and do it for 1. I'm making those jumps so that my brain is not shocked when I step out 275. But once you know, hey, I did 170 last time, I'm going to 175 this time, you should plan out your warm-ups. Have a plan. I have a bunch of videos on it. There's calculators on the internet, Strength Coach calculator warm-up, 185, it pops it all out. Don't overthink warm-ups. Like, you don't need micro plates on a warm-up, right? But most of the time, you're gonna be using like 45s, 25s, 10s, like those kind of arrangements. If you do the math, there's calculators like 300, take 65%, and it comes out to whatever. Don't micro load the math. Just be like, okay, it wants me to do 215. I'll just go 45, 25, 10, which is 215. But just don't overthink it. But do them. Make sure you do your warm-ups and have a plan on how to do it. Usually, I would have you all squatting on the inside of the rack. If it was just me and you, I'd have you on the inside of the rack so we could set the safeties. So when you squat at home or your gym, get in the habit of being inside the power rack. So if you ever miss or you lose your balance and you fall, you just hit the pins and it's not a traumatic experience. Yeah, good. Eyes down. Look at the line between the rack there. Sit back, knees out, and come up. Okay, good. Everyone watch him and look how upright his torso is. Lean over into it and come up. Good. You see how he appears more vertical? If you look at his femur length compared to his torso length, they're much different. The longer my torso is compared to my femur, the more upright I'm going to appear. Think about the principles that we're after. Is the bar in the correct position on his back? It is. Is the bar traveling over the middle of the foot? It is. Is he using hip drive? He is. Then however his back angle appears just has to do with how he's made. So bend this and this at the same exact time to start the movement. So what I'm trying to fix, and he'll get it, is a couple of you guys did this. You go hips back, because Grant said lean over, and then you bend your knees, right? So they're boom. We don't want that. That's gonna create what we call knee slide in the bottom. So I'm here, boom, right? Together. And then I squat, knees and hips at the same time. There you go. Good. Lean over. You gotta get rid of that pause. Lean over into the squat, send your butt back, and then come right up. There you go. Push your knees out hard, and you'll get a little bounce out of the bottom. Knees out, come right up. Good. Now breathe in and brace here. Brace here. Good. Watch this little bounce he's getting out of the hole. See that little boing, do one more. Boing, right? So walk forward. If you brace your abs really hard as you push your knees out, you'll get that little stretch reflex naturally. That's what we're after. Okay, cool. So if you're getting pain here, you gotta adjust the hand. What's happening is you're taking the load in your arms instead of the back. And if we start to see this elbow trembling, it'll cause this. If it starts to flare up today, I'll have you wrap your thumbs. Sometimes putting the extension here can take it off the elbow.
It doesn't happen all the time.
All the time,
so
sometimes. It's something with your grip.
Right.
It's something with your like death grip in the bar instead of letting it rest on your back. Good. Pause at the top. Bend your knees just a little bit, and then that's where you should start the squat from.
I'll start down, but
And come up. Good. So when you're at the top, you're going like this, and your toes are coming off the ground, right? You're violently extending the knees, and you're out of balance. So a little bit of knee bend, and you got to think mid-foot right here. If I'm starting back here, it's going to mess up everything. So at the top, mid-foot, breathe, brace, squat. Okay. Yeah, you got to get the chest down sooner. Chest goes down, hips go back. Hips back, there's the squat. Feel the difference? Way different. Pause, breathe in, and then squat. You gotta separate the reps, right? So Rick's coming up, and he's going right into the next rep. He's going right into the next rep. Get to the top, exhale, new breath, brace, squat. Drive your hips up, not the bar. Chest stays down, good. Lean over, knees out, pretty good. You gotta sit your butt back. That'll keep you in balance. I got a lot of mass here, right? If I just lean over, my heels are gonna come up. So it's a joint effort. It's like physics, it's a balancing act. I gotta get all this mass back as this goes down. Now I'm in balance. If I just do this, that's gonna happen. If I just lean over, this is gonna happen. Hips back, pretty good. One more, you're doing fine. You got to make sure that you set everything up correctly. It's not going to be, you're stronger right now than you are good. Your limiting factor is not the load on the bar. It's your technique, right? It's your skill level. So you got to make sure you set everything up correctly so that if you do fail, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Sit down. Little deeper, Rick. Nice. Nice. Final rep. We got you. Let's go. Here we go. Drive up. Good. Nice. All pretty good lifters. All squatting to depth, right? I mean, no, I'm just kidding. No, but really, I mean, you were. Yeah. It was all good. It's the little things where those nagging pain and stuff comes from. It's my knee slides. My hip hurts. Like, because my stance is off, right? So if you ever have pain, I'm not diagnosing Rick with this is what it is, but if you have pain on the outsides of your hips, generally your stance is too wide and your femurs are internally rotating in the bottom and it flares up. Every time we do this, we add weight to the bar. So again, it's not rocket science. You need to go train, but if something starts, like my right knee hurts, my left elbow hurts, my whatever hurts, generally it's something's gotten off, and then as you've increased in the load, it's irritated it.